Win the inner war. Every day, there is a war being fought inside you, not a war anybody else can see. It is the war between the person you are today and the person you know you could become. One voice says, "Get up." The other says, "Stay comfortable." One voice says, "Do the work." The other says, "You can start tomorrow." One voice says, "Keep your word." The other says, "It does not matter this once." That is the inner war. And whether you know it or not, every decision you make is a vote for one side or the other. The truth is, you do not lose your life in one huge moment. You lose it in small surrenders. The alarm goes off, and you surrender. The workout feels difficult, and you surrender. You know the job needs doing, but you put it off again. You know the habit is destroying you, but you say, "Just one more time." You tell yourself you will change next week. Then next week becomes next month. And before you know it, you are standing in the same place with the same excuses, wondering why nothing changed. But nothing changes when nothing changes. You do not need more motivation. You need to stop making deals with the weaker version of yourself. That version will always have an excuse. It will use tiredness. It will use stress. It will use fear. It will use your past. It will remind you of everything that went wrong and whisper, "Why bother?" But you must understand this. The voice that tells you to quit is not telling you the truth. It is trying to keep you safe from discomfort. But comfort has never built a strong mind. Comfort has never built a strong body. Comfort has never rebuilt a broken life. Everything you want is on the other side of the decision to become uncomfortable. The gym is uncomfortable. Keeping your word is uncomfortable. Walking away from old habits is uncomfortable. Taking responsibility for your life is uncomfortable. But regret is uncomfortable too. Looking in the mirror and knowing you are capable of more, that is uncomfortable. Watching time pass while you keep saying, "One day," that is uncomfortable. Knowing you had the chance to change, but chose the easy option again, that is uncomfortable. So choose your discomfort. Choose the pain that builds you, not the pain that breaks you. A gladiator did not win because he never felt fear. He won because he did not let fear control his actions. He stepped into the arena anyway. That is what you must do. Your arena might not be a coliseum. It might be your kitchen at night when you are tempted to go backwards. It might be the gym at 6 in the morning when nobody would know if you skipped. It might be the phone call you are scared to make, the apology you need to give, the business you need to start, the drink you need to refuse, the bed you need to get out of, the promise you need to keep. That is your arena. And every time you face it instead of running from it, you win. Not always in a dramatic way. Sometimes the win is tiny. You drink water instead of poison. You walk for 20 minutes instead of sitting in your head. You train even though you feel low. You go to sleep early instead of numbing yourself all night. You choose not to react. You choose not to quit. You choose to try again. These are not small things. These are the moments that rebuild a man or woman from the inside out. Because confidence is not something you wait to feel. Confidence is evidence. It is built when you do what you said you would do, when you keep promises to yourself, when you prove that your feelings are not in control of your actions. You start to trust yourself again, and that changes everything. You walk differently. You speak differently. You stop begging the world to believe in you because you have started believing in yourself. Not because life became easy, because you became harder to break. That is the goal. Not a perfect life. Not a life without setbacks, pain, temptation, or bad days. A mind that cannot be owned by them. You will have days when you are tired. You will have days when your mind is loud. You will have days when the old life looks easier. On those days, do not ask yourself, do I feel like it? Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Because the person you become is shaped in the moments when no one is clapping for you, when no one is watching, when no one would blame you for quitting. That is where character is built. You do not have to win the next year today. You do not have to solve every problem by tonight. Just win this moment. Win the next decision. Win the next hour. Get up. Move your body. Make the call. Do the work. Keep your word. Then do it again tomorrow. That is how you win the inner war. Not once, every day. And one day, you will look back at the person you used to be, the person ruled by fear, comfort, excuses, and chaos, and you will barely recognize them. Because you did not wait for someone to save you. You stepped into your own arena. You fought the voice that wanted you weak. You kept going when it would have been easier to quit. You won. Not because you were never afraid, not because you were perfect, but because you refused to surrender. Win the